Coach, we've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
You're not ready. You're not ready. One. 58, boy, 58.
On second and a yard. Mariota. Wilson's got it complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first. From the gun, Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Ready, set. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. You won't see me in your nightmares, son.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Pull it high. Hey, here come.
Looking to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Now, that's absolutely terrific technique right there by the corner. Exhibit A. Zone coverage, knew where his man was in relation to the football at all times, and made a nice play.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
You got three down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the red zone now, Mariota. He finds Robinson. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Flush to his right, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. His throw incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's at the 30. Chicago! A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that'll make the score 14-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Detroit. 16 yards on the pickup.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got Smith here. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 0-1, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You Tucker roll, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down.
36.
X3, 218.
Now back to throw. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
From the 24, Mariota. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Kennedy. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Mariota. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Kennedy. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. Two minutes gone by, second quarter.
Focus, defense, focus.
Mariota. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Marcus Mariota with his second touchdown here in this first half, as the Bears push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8.
Check 99. Check 99.
Recon, 132 fighter. Get it.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Cohen. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
So we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A first down throw for Mariota. And his throw here's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense.
They go play action. Mariota. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Looking to throw. Durant. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Ready to break.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. He can't hang. He's not.
Hey, Delta.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike.
Fair.
Hit it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big pickup of 38. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
61, matchbox right. Ready?
On play action, they'll throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 7-yard touchdown grab, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Durant. It's hauled in by Hardy. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw. Durant. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Ready. 18 Gator. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Back to throw. Durant. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic.
From the gun, Durant. He's going to air one out. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, Haywood!
They're going to look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. On the return is Cohen. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
Five.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Let's go, D. Shoot.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, and maybe we shouldn't be because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
80 weapons.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Ready, ready. 70, Indy.
Who that? He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Topper. He's tripping.
They'll keep it on the ground. Landry, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. The open man is Smith. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 12-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go.
2nd and 9 now. And his throw is incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Go. Now.
Looking to throw. Durant. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Second and 9 at the 21-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And he rifles one incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great. But you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
On 3rd down, Landry. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
On the ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Durant toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, foxtrot.
Operating from the gun, Durant. And Robinson with a big catch. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Back to throw. Durant going right side here, and that's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Ready. 8, read.
Your track.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. The quick slant cut, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. From 4 yards out, as the Bears push further out in front.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.